Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Tekkit. I decided to go ahead and expand out this little shack area into a proper workshop because I am currently in the process of building a large house. But it's taking a while. I'm about 4 hours in so far. So until that's done, let's just go ahead and clean this area up a wee little bit. In the last video, we experimented with a bit more machinery. We got our redstone furnaces, we upgraded to tier 2 technology with the hardened energy cells, even got the sawmill, which turns out is amazing because you can get all sorts of wonderful, beautiful planks. One thing I actually was kind of curious about, though, I wonder if I could actually take the sawdust that's coming out of this sawmill, pump it into another redstone furnace, turn it into charcoal, and then pump it into the steam dynamos, and maybe that actually would be enough energy to sustain this energy system here. Maybe? I don't know. I kind of want to try it out, though. If we're going to make that work, I'm going to need some item ducts. I think that's what they're called anyway. Item ducts. Yes, these. The opaque ones, I think, are the easier ones to make, and that requires tin and lead, which I do have. Go ahead and create a few of those. The other thing that we are going to need is some more pneumatic servos, if possible, because these things are actually useful for controlling the flow of items through your tubes. These, of course, if you don't remember, are made using glass, redstone, and iron. Like so. Okay, now we have a pneumatic servo. And the way that this should work is I should be able to place my item ducts just like I would the fluid pipes or the energy conduits, and pump items out like so into my dynamos. So we'll do something kind of like this. Blue, of course, meaning that it's going into an input here. This actually needs to be changed to an output, so if I use my crescent hammer, we can do that. And if I install a pneumatic servo, we actually would be able to control this directly, similar to how we do with the configurations and the redstone control for all of our machines. If we don't do anything, this thing actually gets activated by a redstone signal, like a torch, which is perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and install the pneumatic servo. Dope. Alright, pneumatic servo has been installed. Now I can right-click on it, and I can do all sorts of fun things. We can control the stack size going through the tube. We can blacklist or whitelist items, so it only pulls out certain things. I have no idea what an OR dictionary is supposed to do. I don't know what any of this actually is supposed to do. And then, of course, there's the redstone control, so yeah, we can just ignore that, so it's always basically on. And there we go. Yeah, so that's how we're going to control a lot of our item flow. If you've used the pneumatic tubes in Redstone from Tekkit Classic, Redstone Power, I think is what it's called, sorry, Red Power, then you're pretty familiar with exactly how these are going to work. In the same way as the pneumatic tubes in Tekkit Classic, these things will pull items through, and if they can't find anywhere to go, then it actually just goes right back to where it started. Kind of gets stacked up inside of this item duct, so you don't have to worry about your items flying off into space, because that would get annoying real quick. Okay, let's set this to be an output. Now, if this works the way I want it to... Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. Uh-oh, hang on, there we go. Okay, that's still the front. So if this works the way that I want it to, the top here should be yellow, and I think that the sawdust, which will be our automatic byproduct, will be pulled out through the item ducts and into the redstone furnace, which should bake it into charcoal, I think, and then get output and put into the steam dynamos. Let's go ahead and install that pneumatic servo. I'm going to set this thing to basically always be on. Let's grab a stack of wood and then see if this works. And I have no shortage of extra wood to use because, my god, did I have to get a lot of it to start working on this housing project, which I'm really excited about. I hope it looks as cool as I'm envisioning, but we'll see. Alright, is it going to pull the sawdust? Well, it sure looks like it. You can't tell because these are opaque item ducts, which means you can't see through them. There are ways of getting them to be clear so you can see what's going on. Now, interesting. So it looks like it is actually prioritizing pulling the items here into the chest rather than go where I want them. That's a bit awkward. What if I turned this to be red only? Would that work? Maybe not. Hang on. So it is pulling the wood out over here, but it is not actually using the sawdust. It's a little weird. I want you to whitelist the sawdust. No? I would have thought that this would be good enough, unless it can't find anywhere to go. Can I bake this? Wait, maybe I don't know how sawdust is used. Ah, darn, it doesn't quite work the way I thought it did. I mean, I'm really close, but I'm missing one crucial step. You can't just bake the generic sawdust. You have to first turn it into compressed sawdust by doing something like this. This can get compressed into charcoal. So it's really not too bad of an idea, I'm just missing one really crucial step. Now this can be addressed. We would need some sort of an automatic crafting bench that takes in recipes, and those do exist in thermal expansion. It is called the Cyclic Assembler. This thing uses a machine frame, some tin gears, which is tin surrounding iron, plus one of those reception coils, some copper, and a chest, and you'd be able to sort of specify what recipes you want and start crafting my compressed sawdust. We actually probably could do that. I'm not sure it's worth it, but for the sake of demonstration, all right, let's do it. Okay, we'll make myself a couple of those tin gears, place like so, machine block, coil, to more of the copper, and boom, now we have a cyclic assembler machine. So you can already kind of get the idea how this would be used to create giant automated factories, even with the thermal expansion mod. Let's see if I can go ahead and create one of these. So let's see, we don't quite need to be this crazy with our item ducts. Yeah, where'd you guys go? Okay, grab that. We're gonna place the cyclical assembler right here. Okay, so it should be pulling in some power, which is exactly what we want. Then we're gonna take duct, goose. No, wait. And then we do that. Okay, and then we take doop. Uh-oh. Wait, hang on. Can I break this? I think I can, actually. Maybe not. Hang on. Okay, it's a little messy, but it does sort of work. So we're going to pull the sawdust out like so. Then we are going... That's not what I meant to do. I'm sorry. Okay. Got to make sure you don't have that freaking crescent wrench in your toolbar. Okay, then we're going to take this, and we're going to take our sawdust. This is not what I thought it would be. Hang on. Schematic. There it is. Oh, right. In order to make this work, we're going to need to have some sort of a blueprint so it actually can save the template. Is it actually called blueprint? Well, that's a lot of blue stuff, isn't it? Hang on. Blueprint? BC Builders? Ah, there we go. It's called a schematic. Blank. By thermal expansion. Okay, for this to work, we need some blue. Either blue stained saplings? That's a thing. Or some lapis, plus a little bit of paper. I can arrange that. Paper, if you have forgotten, is made just by using some sugar canes. Boom. All right, we have paper. Doop. Ba-da-doop. Schematic. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to place a blank schematic here, then use the sawdust and say that I want something. Is it not showing it? Wait, I'm very confused. Uh-oh. Is it bugged? Because it's not, it's just taking my stuff and not giving it back to me. Okay, bit of a bug there. Never fear, it's not the end of the world. We just need to build something else called a Machinists Workbench. For that, you need a crafting table, a strong box, some copper, and some paper. Place a couple things like this, little bit of tin. Okay, now we have the Machinists Workbench. This is where I can actually start building out some useful templates. Place right here. I think we can place down a little schematic like so. And then if I were to do this, lo and behold, we now have compressed sawdust. If I click this button, we write the schematic. Doink! Did it work? Yes, schematic. 1 times compressed sawdust using 8 sawdust. It tells you everything you're gonna need, which is pretty darn handy. I can use that to make any templates I want. Now we'll just plug this sucker in right here, and it's gonna automatically try to make as much compressed sawdust as it can. Like so. The real question is, why is it not... It's not actually outputting it. Oh, right, because I don't have the configuration properly set up. Hang on. Top set to orange. Out goes the compressed sawdust. Where did it go? Where? Hello? Right, there it is. Okay, it just took a while to arrive. But yeah, the regular item ducts do take a, they take a while. They're pretty slow. There is a way to upgrade these, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so the compressed sawdust is automatically going to get sent to the nearest available opening, which is this steam dynamo over here that I can barely reach. But yeah, we're throwing in some charcoal. Now, I want it to evenly distribute between these. I don't want it to always go to this one steam dynamo. I want to make both of them work. For that to happen, I just need to... This is a little bit... Hang on. Okay, now I should be able to use the crescent wrench to actually determine a couple of colors on these item ducts, which do a couple of different things. As I said, it will automatically try to prioritize the nearest available open space that will accept the charcoal, right? Well, what I could do, since this is the nearest, if I don't want this particular dynamo to get anything, is change the color to be dense. And I think this treats it as if it's 1,000 blocks away. So you can actually have something that's kind of close, but still make it a low priority to be dumped. Instead, the charcoal will get dumped into this second steam dynamo over here, since that is now judged to be closer. We don't want that, though. What we're going to do is change the color here to be orange, and it's called Round Robin. And what this is going to do is try to evenly distribute between both of these dynamos as we get more and more charcoal. So, to test this out, let's see if I can get some more logs, and then from start to finish, see if it works. Okay, we are creating our planks. Nothing is building up because everything is automatically getting dumped into this chest, and the sawdust is getting kicked up over here. We should be seeing this build up. There we go. We have one compressed sawdust. It is traveling through this tube. There it is in the redstone furnace, cooking up and turning into charcoal, and it's going to get sucked immediately out. And will it get dumped into the correct steam dynamo? Yes, indeed it did, and now we're creating some steam. All right. So now, as long as I just keep throwing in frick tons of wood, I've created a sustainable power source. Sort of. Hooray! That was overly complicated. Of course, let's be honest, I never said I was going to make anything simple, now did I? By the way, you may have noticed that I went ahead and created a whole bunch of hardened strong boxes over here. Strong boxes are kind of nice. Now, if you saw the original strong box over here, or did I already upgrade it? No, that one right there. Not a lot of inventory space. It's kind of minimal. Obviously, as you upgrade it, it does increase quite a bit. One of the advantages of the strong boxes is in a multiplayer setting, you can change some security settings so that no one else can access it but you. But there's one more reason I really, really like the strong box. See this inventory right here? What I can do is take my crescent hammer, shift, right-click, doink, and it takes the strong box and everything inside of it and moves it somewhere else. So it's like carrying a whole bunch of stuff inside of the strong box at the same time. It's like having extra backpack space. But boom. All I gotta do, right-click, boom, got it. And what's fun, I think, is you actually can place a strong box with items inside of it inside of another strong box, and then doink. Hey, look, it's strong box inception, or something like that. Let's just test that. Let's pull you out. Doop. Sure enough, it still has all its items. That's pretty fun. Or at least that's my idea of fun. I have no idea if you guys think that's fun or not, but I do. Now, one thing that I kind of downplayed last video that I'm wrong, we actually do need, is going to be that induction furnace that I have been talking about before. I was thinking the induction smelter, you know, no big deal. If you want to smelt double ores and stuff, you can. It gets you slag. Who cares? We don't need it right now. Well, the induction smelter is actually good for a few different things. Namely, it also is required in order to make hardened glass, which you could say is one of the materials you're going to need for Tech 3 in thermal expansion. That is how you upgrade things from, what is it called? Hardened, well, let's just take a look at energy cells, actually. If I can type, good lord! Okay, there we go. So we go from our leadstone, then we go to hardened, then we want to go to redstone. Now, redstone requires some of that hardened glass I was talking about. We need a redstone energy frame, which is made of hardened glass, diamond, and electrum. So if we want to get to tier 3, we are going to need that induction furnace. The hardened glass here, you can see, is made out of pulverized obsidian and pulverized lead, or just a lead ingot with the pulverized obsidian. So somehow we now have to start mass-producing obsidian and then pulverize it down into dust and then smelt it to get a bit of hardened glass. How obsidian and lead interact to make a clear substance, I don't know, but that's something we need to do. So if we're going to build this sucker, then we're going to need some of those Invar ingots, more copper, another redstone reception coil machine frame, and a bucket. That's not too bad. We've worked with all of that before, and I should have plenty of ingots sitting around. Okay, place these here, and ba-boom. We now have the Induction Smelter. Okay, like I said, if I wanted to throw ores inside of this thing, it would create double bars and create slag. I just happen to think that the byproduct of the pulverizer is a little bit more useful because this is the only way that I currently know how to get ferrous metal to make my Invar ingots. There are ferrous ores, I think, down in the redstone level of the earth or something, but I haven't found any of those yet. I've been incredibly unlucky thus far, so I'm sticking with the pulverizer. Now, the other thing that I've heard the induction smelter is good at is getting bronze. Is that correct? No? Just take some bronze dust, which is... Really? You just take the ingots and it turns it into dust? Okay, if you say so. Yeah, no, I guess it doesn't have anything to do with bronze. All right, never mind. So, if we want to make hardened glass for tier 3 technology, we're going to need a lot of obsidian. The problem is, I have not found any diamonds yet. At all. Despite hours of playing this so far in between episodes. No diamonds at all. Never fear, there are still ways of getting obsidian. And for that, we are going to need an Igneous Extruder, This is a pretty fun thing. This just takes glass, piston, pneumatic servo, tin, and another machine frame. Doop, doop, and doop. Good. Now we have an igneous extruder. Oh, good grief. I'm completely running out of space here, aren't I? Okay, we're going to place it right there for now. Yeah, I really need to move into my new home. We are out of space. Anyway, okay, so the Igneous Extruder is a fun little thing. It can make cobblestone, regular stone, or obsidian. All you need is to fill it with some lava and some water. You know how you can kind of like take lava and water and you put them together and boom, you've got cobblestone, and that's how you create your basic cobblestone generators? Well, the Igneous Extruder is nice in that it actually can create the obsidian for you directly. Now, this doesn't actually require power, so I just realized I don't need to put that there. We can move it somewhere else to take up a little bit less space. What I do need is a crap ton of lava and a crap ton of water. Another cool feature is that we actually have portable tanks in this mod pack. Portable tanks will allow us to dump a whole bunch of buckets of lava into one big tank, and just like I showed you with the strong boxes and the crescent wrench, we can rock around with that portable tank carrying 8 buckets at once. It saves me a ton of inventory space and a ton of time. It's wonderful. Recipe for this thing is glass around copper, and that's it. Pretty easy. There are several different tiers to the portable tank, and the larger they are, the more they can carry. Take a portable tank surrounded by infar, and then boom, you got a hardened portable tank. I think the regular one carries like 8 buckets. The hardened carries 16. Reinforced, I think, carries 32, and resonant carries 64. Like, it keeps doubling or something like that. Let's go ahead and create a couple of these hardened portable tanks. Okay, copper in the middle, bit of glass goes here. Portable tanks. Take the invar, place it around here. Hardened tanks. And now all we need to do is go back into the bottom of our mines, find the lava, and let's fill her on up. Hey, there's some lava. Hey, maybe once I excavate out all the lava, they'll unveil some diamonds underneath or something. A man can hope. All right, we're going to place down our portable tank like so, and then grab our bucket, and da-doop, and da-doop. There we go. We have 1,000 millibucket units, which is just one whole bucket, placed into the hardened portable tank. Da-doop, 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 da-doop. Oh, this is such a useful tool. I love it. It saves me from having to make like 20 buckets and running down here, filling up my entire inventory full of lava. And then I should be able to take my crescent wrench, shift right-click, ba-boom. Now we have a full portable tank of lava ready to go. Oh, I'm so hungry. You know, it takes a certain amount of skill to go ice skating while eating your roasted chicken. This should be like a Guinness World Record or some sort of a Olympic sport. Yeah, the figure skating chicken eating contest. Now, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and take the liberty of filling up my portable tank by dumping this thing right here. And lo and behold, it is being filled up with my buckets of water thanks to my aqueous accumulator, which I had to surround with torches so it doesn't frickin' freeze. But hey, it works. That was an easy way to get all the buckets of water I needed. Now, we could go ahead and place a whole bunch of fluid ducts and feed stuff in here, and that would work just fine. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. One thing I will do to save a little bit of time, though, is go to the configuration, set the top to be an input, and place the lava bucket right on top. Kaboom! And it should... Well, I thought it would automatically fill her up. Well, how do I change the... Can I... Aha! Now it's orange! Okay, that's what I needed. Let's go ahead and place the Igneous Extruder right here like so. Ba-boom. And... Input. Hey! Water's done. Okay, so I should be able to do the same thing now with the lava. Place. Crescent wrench, right-click, orange. And now we have... our lava. And it should oh, no, switch to obsidian. There we go. I don't want cobblestone. Cobblestone is worthless. Make that obsidian. Thank you. Check it out, guys. We don't need diamonds. Now, it does still use up about 1 bucket of lava for every piece of obsidian you create. So, if we're going to want to get a full, I don't know, 10, I think is the minimum you need to make a nether portal, then yeah, we need a full 10 buckets of lava inside of our portable tank. Hence, one of the reasons I wanted the hardened portable tank. Still, this is pretty fast, and is a good way to continue progressing in this mod pack without having to find those elusive diamonds. And it is certainly useful having enough obsidian to go to the nether, because guess what? Near infinite lava supply. In fact, it actually might be worth going to the nether right about now. little bit dangerous. And the thing is, I don't want to build my nether portal over here because it's too close to where I'm building my actual house. And it would wreck a lot of stuff. Let's sleep on it and think about where I'm going to place this. Okay, I have decided to make another portal altar close to what will be my eventual home, but I'm not going to show it to you yet, so don't look behind me. It's not finished yet. I don't want you to see it. It's mostly just a foundation anyway. I'm going to have to work on that over the weekend. But for this, had to take a bit of a break in order to build this altar out using some stone slabs and some quartz blocks and so on. And you can actually use micro blocks, sort of like you saw in Tekkit Classic, using one of the saws, which is a pretty useful feature if you want to have a lot of detail. A saw is made using whatever material you want to be the tip, in this case sapphires, with some sticks and stone rods, which is just a couple of stone put together. So they're really easy to make, not that hard to create the blocks, and just get a little bit of extra texture and detail in your altar. And overall, I think it looks more or less pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and light this puppy. Ba-boom! Yeah, now it looks sick. And let's go and hop into the nether. Okay, so this is the nether I have been spawned into, is it? Yes? Right next to lava and fire. I'll just put that out for safety. Okay. So there are still aggressive zombie pigmen who will attack you if you try to get any of the nether ores, which is still a mod in this thing, so that's pretty helpful. Wouldn't mind grabbing some of that, but alas, it's not going to be an option. Hey, look, sulfur. That's something we'll need eventually. Now, what I'm looking for, really, are going to be some nether bricks. I don't see an immediate fortress, so I don't think we can do that right now. Let's think. Nether bricks, we can tear them off of a nether fortress, yes. Alternatively, I think you can actually smelt netherrack itself and turn it into nether bricks. So let's go ahead and try getting some netherrack together. Not going to mind that. Don't want the zombie pigman to kill me. Not strong enough yet. We'll just go ahead and grab a little bit of this. Also, well, I would say that we have an infinite lava supply. Is there actually a lava lake anywhere nearby? I see mostly just lava waterfalls, which is distinctly unhelpful. Huh. Pig iron. It's one of the few things that apparently doesn't actually have a Sphax texture. What the heck is pig iron? I don't know what that's good for. Okay, well, really, this is all that I needed. I don't need to get any glowstone quite yet, and now the way is opened, so, yeah, I think we'll just have to duck out and say goodbye to the nether, and we'll come back at another time. Most boring and anticlimactic nether trip ever! Alright, well, we have our netherrack. Can I smelt this stuff directly into bricks? Not that one, not that one, not that one. This one, hello. Coal, furnace, bricks, netherrack, and smelt. There we go, nether bricks. And the nether bricks should just go like this. There we go, nether brick blocks. Beautiful. Now, why do we care about that? Because there's another little machine that we can make, which is called the Magma Crucible, which is pretty darn helpful. Now, this thing requires a whole leadstone energy cell frame in addition to those nether bricks that we are currently smelting, machine frames, another reception coil, and some copper. So the Magma Crucible is useful for a few different reasons. One of the primary ones that we're going to be concerned about is the ability to place redstone inside of the Magma Crucible, and it will break it apart into a liquid. You can do the same sort of thing with ender pearls, which will become very valuable once we want to start making tesseracts. But in the meantime, destabilizing and liquefying the redstone is another thing that we are going to need to be able to do if we want to progress into the next tier of technology. So right there, for example, you can see that we have now created 200 millibuckets of destabilized redstone. 100 millibuckets per redstone, i.e. 10 redstone per bucket worth of destabilized redstone. There's another machine that we'll be able to use in conjunction with that, and what it'll do is it'll take empty special tubes and fill them with stabilized redstone, and that's how I'm going to create my more efficient energy conduits and so on. We're not going to go quite that far today. That's just something I wanted to set up, show you one of the reasons we want to go to the nether and get the Magma Crucible up and a-running with those nether bricks. There's actually not a whole lot more that I want to do in this video without having a full proper house, because we need to make a lot of room for proper machinery. But one thing I really do want to do before we end this, just on a fun note, is let's build up a jetpack. Now, there are several different varieties of jetpacks you can use. With the Simply Jetpacks mod, they do line up very nicely with the thermal expansion mod pack. You have your leadstone, hardened, redstone, and resonant, same tier technologies that you would find in thermal expansion. You also have tuberous jetpacks, which are kind of funny, because you basically just take a potato, stick some wires in it to get a little power and some string and stuff, and then wear it, and it shoots you off like a rocket. I mean, that's kind of the idea. It's just really prone to exploding. Who thought that riding around a giant spud was a good idea? I don't know. We're going to instead go for a hardened jetpack, which requires first a leadstone jetpack, which is made using a leather tunic, some leadstone thrusters, lead ingots, and a leadstone flux capacitor. Leather tunics, you know how those work. No big deal. Flux capacitors use sulfur. Oh, sulfur? So I do need to go to the Nether for that. Oh, good to know. Alternatively, if you pulverize coal, one of the byproducts you can get at a 10% chance is sulfur. Or similarly, we could take that netherrack plus some soul sand, put it in the induction smelter, and have a 25% chance of getting some sulfur that way, and this one won't upset the zombie pigmen. Maybe that's a better idea. Either way, that's going to be a little bit trickier to build. We then also need a leadstone thruster, which uses a pneumatic servo, a couple of steam dynamos, some copper gears, another leadstone flux capacitor, another reception coil, and some item ducts. So we can, you know, siphon the steam and the flames and whatever else into the thruster, whatever. Then get up to a hardened. We're going to need to surround this sucker by some invar ingots with some hardened flux capacitors and thrusters, which are very similar but require better dynamos and better capacitors. For today, let's go ahead and try making the leadstone jetpack. Hi guys, I'm back. Don't mind me. I just need to grab a little bit of this soul sand and a little bit of netherrack, and I'll get out of your hair. There we go. Easy enough. Induction Smelter. Take the netherrack and the soul sand and bake. I need 2 sulfur. Just 2. This is actually a way faster way to make the nether brick as well, which I didn't even realize was a thing. I should have done that sooner. Oh crap, there's actually one more thing that I totally forgot we're going to need in addition to all of this nonsense. We're going to need a way to charge up our jetpack, and that requires something called an energetic infuser. Good lord, we're doing a lot this episode. That requires another one of those leadstone energy cell frames, some machine frames, transmission coils, which is silver and redstone instead of the gold and redstone, and a couple of copper ingots. Okay, do I actually have everything I need now? I think that I might. Let's go ahead and start by making that other thing I was talking about, which requires the copper plus that plus transmission. There we go, energetic infuser. Now we'll need to make some flux capacitors, which requires the redstone, the lead, some copper and sulfur, and boom, I want 3 of those probably. Then we need the thruster, which is the servo, dynamos, gears, coil, and item ducts as before. Da-doop-doop, da-doop-doop, and dynamos, thruster. Oh, crap, I don't have a leather tunic. Gosh dang it, I need to go find some cows? Of all the things to slow me down, it's gonna be the frickin' cows? Of course it is. Well, that's a pretty dramatic hole in the cliff, isn't it? Gosh dang it, there are usually cows in the highlands and stuff. Why today, of all days, can I not find the frickin' coos? Oh, look at all the sheep. There's a million frickin' sheep. Oh my god, moo cows! Finally! Die, Bessie! Guys, making me run all across the frickin' planet. I am so far away from home just to get some stupid leather. Oh my god, I'm home. Nearly dead from hunger, but I made it home. All I gotta say is this dang thing, it better be frickin' worth it. Okay, place, let's say here. Here's my energetic infuser. Did I finish? Yes, flux capacitor, place. Wait, oh, how do I? Yes, it was filling up, okay. Place, fully charged capacitor, lead, jetpack! And I don't know why I use that charged capacitor, because I sort of assumed that some of that charge would translate over here, but apparently not. Good to know. Well, the good news is it charges up pretty quickly. 25,000 RF apparently is not a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and wear this puppy. So I've got a jetpack. Now I think I hit, what, F? Yes, jetpack engine enabled. Hang on. Ready? Woo! Whoa! Ooh, okay, so it's not quite the same as permanent flight. I gotta move up and down in good parabolic motion. But it works! Hooey! I wish I could say for sure how helpful this is gonna be when building my house, because I know I want to fly, but this is very unstable. I'm not really a fan. But it is better than nothing, isn't it? Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, then I ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment with your suggestions, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.